Hi guys, in this video I'll show you how you can ping multiple devices using Excel. Ping command is a commonly used troubleshooting utility used to determine whether a remote host is active or inactive, the round trip delay in communication with the remote host, and the packet loss. So now let's look at how it works. The initiated device or the development device sends an echo request to the remote device. The ping is considered successful only if the remote device sends back an echo reply within the allotted time or the timeout period. Before going to the walkthrough, here is an example ping script. So basically, ping command requires only the host name or the host address. In Windows, the packet size, number of echo requests, and the timeout period have default values. Now I'll switch to Excel. So I've already created an Excel file and with two columns. One is the host IP address and the status. Now first, let us save this Excel file to a macro. Let me save as temp ping command, and make sure you select the macro variant XLSM. Okay, so now the next item which we need is a button to execute the ping command. So in order to do this, let me go to the developer tools here and insert and select the button. Okay, my Excel is in German, that's why all the weird namings here. So you should be also able to find the same menus in English too. So let me edit this name, just right click this and say edit text. And now let me define some IP address which I know they are accessible, and some IP address. Let us do for one device first, one remote device first. Okay. So let's test now whether we have any ping activity, or let's just make sure to save your file interval at regular intervals. So let's see. Yep, there is connectivity. If I say any other device which is not available, I go for some time. Yeah, there's no connection. So, but execute the command. We have here our completed list, so I just execute the command. Yep. So I just type here, I don't know, maybe google.com, and then type again the execute ping. When I executed the ping, even the empty spaces are getting recognized, and it's returning offline status. I, for one, don't like to see if there is no host IP address or host name entered. So what I'm going to do is just introduce an if statement just right below the host IP. Only if you have the value here in this column, then execute my script. Otherwise, don't execute. Okay, let's check again. Yep, now it looks good. Yeah, please like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to build a ping monitor and a scheduler. The main function, execute ping, is covered in the first part of this video. The link to this video is below in the description. Today we will see how to build a ping monitor and a ping scheduler. So let's get started. Okay guys, so now I've opened the ping tester file which we have created, and on the side, on the right hand side, I have the VBA editor which you can also open using Alt F11. The first thing what I'm going to do is transfer this ping function to a module. In order to do that, I just click on to this VBA project here and insert a module. Now, all I need to do is double click on sheet 1 again, transfer all the contents from this to the module 1. Immediately, I will go here in the Excel file and change the macro. Okay, and save the file. Let me check whether it's working. Yes, it's working. So the next thing what I'm going to do is add a column called last reachable at. This column will show us when was the last time the device was accessible. If the device is offline, then the value will not be updated. In order to do this, I'm going to go to the ping function, and whenever my device is online, then I will update the current time. So I just copy paste this line and change the column number to 3, and the value is going to be the time, which is going to be the time when the device was reachable. So let me just do quickly some formatting for these cells to display the time value. And I just go to the custom here, formatting custom. It's gonna be inclusive date. Okay. Okay. Now save the file and test it. Looks good to me. Now we have here the last reachable file time. So now we are good to go to the next function, the ping monitor. What I want to achieve is to continuously monitor the devices. So this can be done by saying monitoring status here. Idle. The default status or the initial status is going to be idle. I'm going to quickly create two subroutines. One is going to be the start monitoring, and the other subroutine is going to be stop monitoring. So whenever I start the monitoring, then I go to the active sheet range F8, set the value to monitoring, and this is going to be a simple do loop until active sheet F8 value is going to be idle. And within the loop, we are just going to call the ping subroutine. For the stop monitoring, it's going to be simple. We just need to set the value to idle. Okay, now let's hook up these functions with two buttons. For this, I'm going to go to developer menu and insert two buttons. The first one is going to be my start monitoring. Rename this to start. And the second button is going to be my stop monitoring. Okay, save the file. Let's check now. So start monitoring, plop. Now you see it's continuously monitoring the devices. And okay, I'm finished with monitoring. Can go click stop, and voila, it's gotten stop. Now we see here this device, the one with 190 IP address was last accessible at 12:33 at 38 seconds, but the other devices were accessible at even 12:33:44. Okay, that's the monitoring part of this video. Now we are going to see the ping scheduler. So sometimes we would like to see if the devices are accessible at a particular point of time during a day. So for this, what I'm going to do is define a time, a schedule time. Make sure the content of the cell should be a string value. Now I define the time to be 12 o'clock 36 minutes, and the status just to see whether it's scheduled or not. The default will be not scheduled. Okay, so I go to the VBA editor and write two subroutines. Okay, now the resetting schedule part is also necessary because the application time also needed to be reversed. In order to do that, I'm going to reset the status to not scheduled first. Not scheduled. And I'm going to deactivate the scheduling. Now let's hook up these two functions with buttons. If I were to set, now it's already scheduled. Let's just wait for it. Let's just wait another 10 seconds. Then let's see first the scheduling portion of the function. Yep, voila. The function has been executed and we see here the time, the last reachable time. And when this scheduling occurs every day at 12:40 a.m. Now we have seen how scheduling of a ping function works for a particular time of a day. In order for the scheduling to work, the function must be set to scheduled with using the set command, and the Excel file must be opened. Before you close the workbook, you need to reset the scheduled function. This will save you some errors and bugs in future. So in order to So let's just check this in action by closing the file and reopening it again. So we didn't have any bugs. There you go. In this video, we have seen how to set up a ping monitor and also schedule for a particular day of time. In the next part, I'll show you how to automatically call this Excel file even if it is closed and execute the ping function. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Hi guys, welcome back. So far we have seen how to ping multiple devices using execute ping function, how to continuously monitor it using the ping monitoring functions, and how to schedule ping for a particular time of day. So the ping scheduling works only if the Excel file is opened. So today I'm going to show you how you can use the scheduling without opening the Excel file. Today we'll be creating a Visual Basic script file and set up a task in the Windows Task Scheduler. Before doing it, I would like to address few issues found in the ping monitoring and scheduler. For this, I'm going to open the VBA script, and in the reset scheduling, just add this line: on error, resume next. For the ping monitor, sometimes the device shows online, although physically it's offline. To resolve this, we introduce here a 1-second delay ping the other devices. The updated Excel file is available from the link below. Okay, let's get started with the ping scheduler. For this, create a text file called ping_scheduler.txt. Now, open this file and define a variable called Excel file path where you give the location of your Excel macro. Now we need to also define a macro path. In our case, it's going to be module.ping. This can be found easily here. So in our ping underscore tester Excel file, when you open the VBA script editor, you find here the module one, and the function which we are going to, or the macro which we are going to execute, is the ping. Now create an object excel.application, and we don't need that to be visible during the scheduling, and all the alerts must be set to false. Open the workbook. Now run the macro using the excel app.run and the macro path here. After running the macro, we will save the workbook, close the workbook, reverse the alert status, and now finally exit the Excel app. So save this text file, go back to the location where you saved the text file and change the extension to VBS. Okay, now let's open the Windows Task Scheduler and create a new task. After opening the Windows Task Scheduler, on the right hand side you find the button Create Task. So click it and define a name. So in our case, we are automating the ping tester. I just said automate and just leave all the other to default. So now we define a trigger here. So I'll be defining a daily trigger in this daily trigger, and I want to repeat every 15 minutes the task. So this trigger will be executed every 15 minutes. So next we go to the actions tab. Now here you need to call the cscript.exe from the system32 folder. So for this, I'm going to go to browse and go to the C drive, Windows, system32 folder, and just search for cscript. Okay. In the arguments, now you have to give the path of your VBS file. So I just copy the location here. And now it's going to be ping scheduler.vbs. Make sure you put it in the quotation marks. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, that's it. We've created the ping tester, and now let me close this file, Excel file. Okay, now I would like to test the scheduler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the task, right click, and just run it. So it opens the C script, and after some time it closes automatically. And now we can go into the Excel file and see, voila, it's been properly executed. Now, since we have started this task, it will automatically trigger every 15 minutes. So you see, the next time the task will be executed at 11:36. This way, we have now used this ping tester file and scheduled it automatically every day and every 15 minutes of the day. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe my channel for more videos like this. Bye bye. Hi guys, another useful macro which I find helpful is exporting Excel workbook or sheets as PDF files to a specific location. Normally, you can save the Excel file using Save As option and by selecting the PDF option from the Save As type here. So this way, you can save the entire file as an PDF file. Today, I'm going to show you how to export the contents of the ping results as a PDF file. The videos on how to perform ping operations such as testing, monitoring, and scheduling are in the description below. So, by clicking the button Export without prompt, a PDF file is automatically generated, like so. And using the function Export to specified location, a save dialog box is prompted and PDF file is created at the desired location. So, let's get started. Now I've opened the ping tester file. In this file, I would like to print out or save this range as a PDF file. In order to do this, I will first go to the VBA editor and create an export function. So now I'll create an export function and create a variables to save the file name and the location. And the file name is going to be ping results with the current time up to the millisecond level with the extension PDF. The save location is going to be the active workbook.path, and this save location can be any desired location. Now we will select the range from the active sheet from A1 to C25. Note here you can not only select the current sheet, but you can also define current workbook or a specific sheet. Now the important function or the export mechanism is done by this function export as fixed format. Now you have to select the type Excel, type PDF, and give the file name as location. And for now, we will say open after publish false. Okay, now we have the function ready. Let's hook up this function to a button. So let's head back to Excel and create a button. Now I'm going to the developer tab and pressing insert and select a button here. So let me select the function export as PDF and press OK. Edit the text here to show export without prompt. Okay, I just give the heading export to PDF here and make it bold. So let's try the function now. So I expect a file to be created with the current time 11:46. Yeah, and the content should be, yep, perfect. Now let's see the function export to specific location. I'll switch back to the VBA editor and create a function called export as PDF to specific location. In this, again, I'll define a variable save location and file name. This is going to be the same as the function above. And now we need to define the save as dialog box. For that, I'm going to define a variable var result and assign it to the function application.get save as file name. And we need some parameters here to pass in. So the first one is going to be the file filter, which is going to be the PDF files which we're looking for. And the title is going to be save results to PDF file. And we give the initial file name as save location. So once the user has entered all the desired file name, and only then we need to save the PDF file. So we need to check if var result is not empty, which means the user has not accidentally canceled the save dialog box and has entered a valid name. So when this criteria is successful, we need to select the active sheet and the range which we want to print it out. In our case, it's going to be the range A1 to C25, and the function is going to be the export as fixed format. We have to select the type Excel type PDF, and the file name is going to be the file name which the user entered. And in this case, we will set the open after publish to true so that the PDF will be opened immediately. So let's save this and hook this function to a button in Excel. Switching back to Excel now, create a button from the developer tab here and hook it to the export as PDF, the created function, and change the name to export to specific location. Okay, let's check this function now. Okay, now I'm getting a pop-up with an initial file name. Let me change this file name to maybe test for tutorial and save the file. Voila, it opens also. And you see the file name is going to be the test for tutorial, which we just defined it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this. Okay, bye-bye. Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to send an email using Excel. For this, I'll be using the Excel ping tester file which I've been developing in the last 4 videos. So make sure to check these videos before you're going through this one. In this video, we will be developing the macro function for sending an email and hooking this macro function up with the ping tester function. By the end of this video, when we click this execute ping macro, we will be executing the ping function first, and then we will be getting a PDF file to the specified location, and we will also get the results as an email. So, like so. So, let's get started. First, let's insert a button and edit the text to send email. Okay, we will create a worksheet called settings, and we will give the email account information there. Settings. In the sheet, I'm going to now create 2 columns. The first column is going to be the settings, and the second column is going to be value. And now I will give the from address. Of course, this is going to be my email address, and give a to address now. This is also going to be my email address. I'm going to send the email to myself. If you want to send it to multiple people, then separate it by a semicolon. And you can also CC it or BCC it. And then we will add a subject. Our subject is going to be ping results from, and the date we will add it in the macro. We also define a body, and the text can be anything as you like. And I'm going to just say this email contains ping results from. Okay, now we have to enter the SMTP settings. I will be using my Gmail account, so I'll be inputting my SMTP server as this one, smtp.gmail.com, and my username is going to be the same as my from address, and my password, and the SMTP port number. Now let's switch to the VBA editor and start writing the macro function for sending an email. Okay, for this I'm going to press Alt F11 and switch to the VBA editor, and then I'll just scroll down until the end of the function, end of the code, and start typing here. Let's create a function called send email. Let's first create a PDF file using the function export as PDF. This PDF file will be an attachment for our email. So we do like this. We define a PDF file name and then call the function or the subroutine export as PDF. In this case, we need to just change the subroutine to a function, and we need to define export as PDF. Let's save location. After we created the PDF file, now let's define a variable for retrieving the current time, and this is going to be used for displaying purposes in the email. And now let's retrieve the email settings from the worksheet by defining a variable for worksheet and selecting the settings page, and also define some variables for subject, from, to, CC, BCC, and the body. Let's get these values from the sheet like so. Also, string from is going to be from range B2, and yeah, in the ascending order B2, B3, and so on. This is going to be these values here. And once we have these values, we need to define a collaboration data object. Okay, now the idea or the technology behind how the VBA sends an email is something called collaboration data object, or CDO. And usually in the machine where Excel is installed, Outlook must also be installed. This is a part of the Microsoft Office package. So by default, it will be installed in your machine. And we define this collaboration data object like so. CDO mail, and we need to also define two other objects, a configuration, CDO configuration, and SMTP configuration. So once we define this, we need to initialize the CDO mail object by setting it to the CDO message object. If there's going to be an error while creating this object, then we'll handle this error and just display via a message box. So once we define this object, now we also need to define the configuration object and set it to -1. After this, let's define the SMTP configuration by setting it to the config fields. But before retrieving the values from the sheet, there are 3 default values which needs to be set. In this case, it's going to be send using, which is 2. SMTP authenticate will be 1, and SMTP use SSL is going to be true. Now let's get the SMTP settings from the worksheet, and this will correspond to this section in the worksheet like so. Once this is initialized, we need to update it, and once this update is completed, then we need to actually send the email now. So this can be done like so. What we are going to do is set the configuration first from this CDO config, and now set the from addresses, to address, CC and BCC. After this, we are going to set the subject using the string from above, from string subject, and then we are setting the body, HTML body. Now there are two methods to set the content of the email. One is going to be the text body, which is going to be simply the text which we have written in this worksheet settings, this body part. Or the other method is to define a HTML body. We are going to see in this video the HTML body part. This HTML body can contain both text and the used range. So we will get the body definition from the string body, which we have defined previously here, and like so, and just give some 2 line breaks, and then we use this function range to HTML, and with the parameter where the pink results are displayed in the worksheet. So the function range to HTML is developed by Ron de Bruin from Excel Automation, and The link to this function I've attached in the description below. If you find this function very useful and there are other tips, please make sure to check this website. The function range.html takes in a parameter range and converts the content of this range to HTML. This will be returned to the HTML body. Let's add the PDF file which we created previously. The last step is to send the email like so. So finally, after this end with, we are going to um, remove the temporary PDF file which created. That's all, guys. This is the function which we need to send an email. So save the document, go back to the Excel worksheet, to the sheet 1, and let's hook up this send email function or the macro which we created to this button here. So for this, just right click, assign macro, and you can find the send email macro here and press OK. So save the file and let's just see whether it works. And now let's test by clicking it. Okay, I did something. I'll go to my email account. The current time is around 12:15 and I got an email around 12:11. Okay, see a attachment PDF file. Just click it open. Okay, the PDF is also created and the content is also in the email as text format. So here we can see the body, the string body. The email contains spring results from so and so time, and then we have the actual results here. But as you might have noticed, the results are not current. For example, today is 3rd of June, but the results says 27th of May. So all we have to do now is to hook up this email function to the execute ping function. In order to do that, I'll switch back to the VBA editor by Alt F11. And then I'll go back to my ping function, and just before exporting as PDF, I'm going to send the email. That I just need to call the function or the subroutine send email like so. So save the file and let's go back to our worksheet and let's try now to execute. And now let's execute the ping function. So it's executing the ping function. We can see here the date has been updated. Where I need to create PDF, a PDF has also been created. And the final check is going to be in my email account. Of course, 12/14. Email has been arrived. Yeah, with June 3rd as the current date. While developing this macro, I faced some of issues, some errors. Yeah. So in order to use your Gmail account like this, you need to activate or turn on the option less secure access, app access. This can be found in your Gmail account under the tab security. If you're using another domain, for example, in your office network, make sure your email account is enabled for third-party apps. While developing the macro, there was another issue to access this CDO object. So in that case, I switch back to the macro editor. What you need to do is go to the menu tools and option reference here and make sure the CDO object is selected. If it is not selected, it's fine. Make sure the object CDO is selected. In Newer versions, it's not required to be selected, but in older versions of Excel, you might want to select this option so that your VBA editor recognizes this object. In order to do that, click the Browse button and go to the path C, Windows, and System32. Next thing you need to do is to find the CDO sysdll. So this you can either do a simple search here, and this gives you only the CDO sys file, and open it, or you can manually scroll through the entire list. So once you have added the CDO sysdll, it should be available in the list here under Microsoft CDO for Windows 2000 library. Yeah, make sure to check this box and press OK. Your VBA editor to recognize the CDO object which we are using here in this macro. So please like and share my video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye bye. Hi guys, in this video I'm password, and or also you can use your phone to confirm that you have been logged in. This is a more secured option which many of the email providers and services offer. So here you can see I've already trusted my phone, but you can also have a security key or a text message. This can be one of the options. And in the second step, if you in case lose the phone or We have seen in Excel how to execute, monitor the hosts, and schedule the ping function. Other videos on how to build the ping monitor. You'll find the link below in the description. In this, we will be monitoring the host and display the result in the start video is the Excel file used the ping monitor video. For this, visit my GitHub page and select the tech tip folder. Now download the 09 ping tester file. Create a new sheet and name it logger. In this new sheet, define the first two columns as date and map the next column names to fun host names. You can type in the formula sheet 1 exclamation first host name. From there, you can pull the bottom left corner of the cell to get the other host names. As you see, they're the same because the cell to 1. And for an unsuccessful response, we will set the cell's value to 0. With this, we will the entire range with either 0 or 1 depending upon if the ping function is successful or not. Now let us go to the start monitoring subroutine where the entering of the host and set the global counter to value 2. We set the counter value to 2 because the result should be the second row. Now within the subroutine where it checks for idle, go to that line. So increment the global counter by 1 so that the will store the results in the next row. This completes the VBA code part of this video. So now let's switch back to the Excel and press the start button under the monitoring status. This will trigger the monitor subroutine and the ping function will get started. So when we press stop after some time and now switch sheet, we will see some data already populated. We will expand the columns to see the current date and time. So this data use as a basis for our chart. So in order, we will select the data from cell G7 or so. Selecting the range, go to the menu Insert and select the line chart. Now the line chart will be automatically created for you. For the line charts, you can either select line with markers or stack with markers. In this example, we will use stack line with markers. Let us change the title monitor. As you can see in the legend, we can remove the traces with the host names 0 by clicking the filter function and unchecking the. Perfect. Now we have the chart ready. Let us populate with few more data. In order to do this, let's switch back to the and start the monitoring function. Since we did not change any values in the ping monitoring routine, every 3 seconds entry will be generated. After some time, if you look up the chart, now we have more data. Okay, but let us populate or extend this chart to display or handle more data. We can all track and or monitor the devices for up to 1 day or preference. Extend the graph for more data points. Now we see the time is getting clocked. So in to display the values in a nice fashion, click format axis and go to the alignment option. Under the alignment options, set the position to vertical. Perfect. This is the task for this view. Now you might be wondering how to increase this time or the monitoring time. For this, we will switch back to the VBA code and go to the section where it says application.wait, and you can change here to maybe 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever time. Yeah. So for another test, I'm going to be setting the interval for 1 minute. So this I can do by saying 001 colon value. I switch back to Excel, start the subroutine, start monitoring. This way, you can as many tests as you like, and you can change the time, change the interval depending upon your requirement. Yeah. You can also check my videos on ping tutorials in the description below. Like and subscribe my channel to see more videos like this. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to use ping testing function using Excel in Mac OS. So for this, I'm going to import the Excel ping tester file which we developed for Windows, and then a quick walkthrough for the ping command and its implementation in Mac OS. And the third step will be to create an Apple script, and finally to test the function. So I've already imported the ping tester file in the Mac OS here, and you can see that here, like so. Yeah, okay. Now the ping implementation in Mac OS is a bit different compared to Windows OS. So for this, I'll quickly open a terminal here, and using here the terminal pad, and I just ping www.google.com. Yeah, normally in Windows the default count is 4, but in Mac OS it is more Unix-like system, so it keeps on pinging, it keeps on testing it until and unless we stop it. We can do that by just clicking Control C, or we can limit also the number of ping counts by using -c parameter, and just the number of pings we need to, or the number of count. So in this case, it sends 2 count of pings. The equivalent command in Windows will be -n. So here's the difference. And let's say um, we used the command -w, small w, for waiting time for during each ping sessions, and a similar function is also available here in Mac OS, but it's different. For that we need to do minus capital W, and let me just say 1 second. Okay, it gets executed. Let me just type another in not accessible IP address. So it sends once, timeout, and sends twice, timeout. Okay, so for the detailed description of the ping implementation, you can do you can just write the command ping --help, and it gives the all available options here. Good. Now let's go back to the Excel file. So using the command Alt F11, I'll switch to the Windows VBA editor. So in Windows, we see here we create a Windows script shell and execute the command here. See the options here for Windows, it's -n and -small w. But in macOS, the VBA editor supports Apple script task. So from this website here, you can read more about how to use an Apple script. Basically, we define here a file where the script is written, and then the handler, in this case a ping handler, and we send a parameter, the host IP. What we also changed here is we compare if the return code is equal to OK. So what does this ping script actually do? In this Apple script, what we're going to do is define the ping function. So we define the ping function by just saying on ping, and we take in the parameter host IP address. Now let's create a try block. This can be done by just saying try on error and then end try. Within the try block, what we are going to do is execute the ping command and then save the result to a variable. We'll call result and set it to the output of the command ping function from here. Will contains 64 bytes. This is going to be our checking condition, then return OK. If not successful, then it gives an error and then we say just not OK. Okay, then save the file. The location where the file should be saved is also defined by Microsoft. Now, this is going to be under the library folder and application script. I can just show you the path. It's going to be under library application scripts, and there you'll find a folder called com Microsoft and Excel. If this folder is not available, just create the folder by using kdir and com.microsoft.excel. Okay, now this is the place where you have to save the file ping.applescript. So the terminal also provides a shortcut to open this folder. We can do that by just saying open space and dot. Okay, this opens the folder and I've already saved this file here. And yeah, that's it. We have created the ping function and we have defined the return variables. Now let's test this. I go back to the Excel file again, and in the Excel file, I'll just execute it now. I'll just execute the ping function. Okay, my device is online, this is offline, online, and online. Okay, it seems to be working. Okay, this is how you implement a ping function in macOS. Hope you like this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hi friends, in today's video we are going to see how to get the host name and the open ports for a given IP address in a Mac OS system. So let's see if the systems are reachable via ping command. Let's dive in. The first part which we're going to see is the basics behind to find out the open ports. For this, we are going to use the command line utility tool netcat. With the flag -v and -z, we can find out all the open ports like so. The command for this is going to be nc -vz, b for purpose and z for 0 IO mode, only used for scanning, and the IP address followed by the port numbers. The output can either be connection refused or succeeded. Now, let's transfer the output to a text file, and from there, we can process this text file. Using the grep command, we can filter out only the ports which are active. Succeeded part, we just only need the portion of the port. So using the command, we can get the port portion. So now this awk function has got me the port along with what kind of protocol. We can do a small bit of formatting with a space like so. Now let's head to the Excel file and do some VBA coding. So in order to do this, just right click on the button and choose the function find ports. So here the find open ports function does nothing else. Here the available IP addresses, and then it calls an Apple script task with the function find open ports, and it takes host IP as an argument. If the ports are found, then it returns the ports. If they are not found, then we have an error. Now let's open the Apple script. In order to do that, we need to navigate to the path library slash application scripts slash com.microsoft.excel. And from there should be a file port.applescript. If it does not exist, so create a file port.applescript and paste in this code like you see in the screen. So the functions, the command and the instructions are straightforward, like you see in the script here. First, we perform the nc command. If by any chance it does not return any port, then we have a situation that where no ports have been written. When you're executing this via Apple script, it so happens that it does not produce an error or empty line. So we need to catch this situation. There is also a possibility to execute the function locally by uncommenting these lines. After uncommenting these lines, just press the play button in the script editor and you can see the result after some time. In this case, we don't have any open ports. I'm just going to simulate an port. Now, this is a time-consuming task. Please bear with me. And here, after this task executes, we can see the output. Once you're satisfied with the test, you can switch to Excel and press the Find Open Ports button. The second part is going to be checking the host name from the given IP address. For this, we are going to see two methods. The first method is going to be using NSLookup, and the second method is going to be using dig function. The VBA code is going to be fairly simple and straightforward. It's just loop through the corresponding IP address column and executes this Apple script task. We are going to have only one Apple script file, but with two different functions within it. The first function is going to be called get hostname using NSLookup, which take IP addresses as an argument. If the function returns a hostname in the cell, we can have two kinds of errors. One is going to be does not have any communication with the IP address, and the other explanation in the error message. Now let's open up the host.applescript file. This is again found under the folder library application scripts com.microsoft.excel. Okay, let's open the host applescript file. Here you can see again two functions. One, the get host name using lookup, NSLookup, get host name using dig. This takes as IP address as an argument. It's fairly straightforward. It executes the command for NSLookup, and here's a bit of a regex pattern implemented, a regular expression pattern to extract the host name. We'll see in a bit how this NSLookup output looks like. This function also has sample implementation. You can uncomment these lines and execute them locally with the play button. Now here we works and how we extract the host name. You just type NSLookup and the IP address, and within the output, if it is reachable, if the IP address is physically accessible via networks, then you should see some host name, which is in the line name equals the host name. And this host name, we are going to use the regular expression and extract it. You type dig plus short and minus x along with the IP address, then it gives directly the host name, which we are going to export it. These are the basic workings of NSLookup and dig functions. Now you can switch back to Excel and execute them via the corresponding buttons. That's all, friends, for today, and see you in the next. Previously, we have seen ping monitoring to process package and import the package fs. Define the array of hosts. Define reply from with which output contains the reply from text. If yes, then we have to check for the promises.all. All the promises are executed simultaneously. Only after all the results are returned, the output promises are returned to a text file using the mode package fs. The errors are logged to the console. Open up the terminal and execute the. I will see you in the next one. Today I'm going to show you how to retrieve the host name from the IP address in Excel and also program the host name macro. By the end of this video, you will be able to determine the host name from the IP address. So let's get started. To get started, let us download the Excel file from GitHub page. The link is found below in the description. So open up the GitHub page and press the download button. Now open up the Excel file. In this Excel file, we determine the IP address based upon the host name. Let me first check if the hosts 134 and are accessible. For this, I'll be using ping function communication for the hosts are available. These are going to be the hosts for which we will be finding the host name. Okay, and I will also get the IP address for google.com using the ping function. So for this, I just type ping www.google.com. Okay, here I have the IP address for www.google.com. Once I have the IP address in the column A, so I'll also rename the column B header to hostname. Update the text for the macro too. Okay, by pressing Alt F11, we switch to VBA code. First thing is to change the subroutine name to lookup hostname. Here in this VBA code, we are going to do minimal changes to get our hostname. First step is to update the ping command by adding -a like so. Then we need to update the regex pattern. You can pause the video here and type in the regex pattern. We also need to update the matches argument. If there are any matches, then we retrieve the first item of the submatch. Make sure you type here submatches and not sub-items. It's a mistake. This step is essential to retrieve the host name. And one final piece of the code, we need to update the return value. So let's switch back to Excel and execute the function. Like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. So I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to import emails from Outlook. Make sure Outlook is installed in the same PC as the Excel, and we're going to see two levels of import. One is going to be a subfolder to an inbox, and another level is the relative to the inbox. So let's get started right away. You can follow along this tutorial to find out neat tricks how to build your own importer function, or you can find the link below in the description for a completed Excel file. Now let us create two input fields. From date, the input taken from cell B1, and the folder name, the name of the folder set in Outlook, which will be set in cell D1. In our case, it's going to be ping space results. The date field is a filter condition so that only the emails from the set date and above are retrieved. Let me enter the date 4th of June, as I know that there are emails in the folder. Okay, create an output field called total message, which will return the total number of emails retrieved in the cell B2. Also, create a label to define whether the folder is relative to inbox or at the same level. We will see what this means in a moment. Create the column headers for the retrieved emails: date, email from, subject, and the body. Let me make the email body column is a little bit wider to show the details of the email. Now let us save the file. Make sure you save the file as macro enabled. After saving the file, go to the development menu. If it is not present in the ribbon menu, then go to File, Options, and select Customize Ribbon and check the developer checkbox. From the development menu, select the Form checkbox and edit the checkbox name to S and rename it to Check from the Formula menu, like so. To differentiate the input fields, we will highlight it like so. Before going into the VBA part of this video, let us review how the Outlook email account is set up. For this, open the Outlook application. Make sure your email address is already connected in Outlook. I mentioned earlier that we could retrieve the emails from folder which is either related to the inbox or at the same level. Directly below is relative to the inbox, and make sure folder names are same as defined in the folder name field. To create a relative folder, just right click on the inbox and select new folder and give it a name. And to create a folder at the same level as inbox, right click on the email address and select a new folder button. Okay, now the folders are created. So I will remove the dummy folders. I've already have ping result folders created, which contains the emails. Now let's switch to Excel VBA and start typing our code. First here, create a module, and the first function which we are going to create is the clear range function. This function will clear all the contents below the header row, which is at a number 4. You can pause the video here and note down the logic. Now the next function is going to be importing the emails. First we will clear the range, create a variable for an Outlook application like so, create a variable for Outlook namespace, and for folder object, which is going to map the folder which we saw in Outlook. Create a variable for the email items like so. Finally, create a iteration object which will loop through the email items. Now get the folder name from the active sheet from the range D1. Okay, set the Outlook app instance, set the namespace, and also create a error handler. This error handler makes sure that Excel does not crashes immediately. Here, set the total number result to folder not found and the font color red. Reset all the objects like output app namespace so that next time you run, the macro runs hassle free. Okay, let's go back to our main function, and here we check the state of the checkbox and set the Outlook folder object. If it is unchecked, then the folder is at the same level as inbox. If the checkbox is checked, then the value folder is relative to the inbox. Once the Outlook folder is set, now we retrieve the email objects like so. Sort the items according to the receive time so that the latest emails is available as the first email in our results column. Now let's print the results from the email object. Using the iteration value variable which we defined earlier, we are going to print the results which are greater than the time specified in the cell B1. Yes, now let us print the receive time, the sender name in the column email from, and the subject and also the body of the email. You need to increment the counter so that the next email object will be printed. Finally, we will display the total number as the iterator value -5. Don't forget to reset the values so that the next time when you run this function, it works hassle free. After resetting the objects, exit the sub. Okay, now let's switch back to Excel. Here we need to insert an object to call the import emails macro. For that, go to the insert menu and select a rectangle object. Type import emails and assign the macro import emails by right clicking it. After assigning the macro, let's save the file and try executing it. Oops, here's a bug in the program. This is because Excel does not know the Outlook object is to stop the execution of the macro by pressing the stop button. Now go to the Tools menu and select Preferences, and from there select Microsoft Outlook 16.0 Object Library. Usually this is installed along with Outlook application. So after selecting it, save the file and let's go back to Excel and try it out. Okay, now execute the macro again. We see here the function has been executed, but it is still having an error. It may be because I need to save this as macro enabled. Let me save this file as macro enabled now and try it again. Okay, the error still persists. Ah, the error can be that we inserted form checkbox instead of ActiveX checkbox. So now insert the ActiveX checkbox and rename it check and along with the caption S, like so. Okay, now let's execute the function again. Oh, something else, something new happening. The function seems to be working, but we still don't see the results. Maybe the date field format is not correct. Let us check. As suspected, the format is general. Now we need to set the format to short date. Okay, after setting it, save the file and execute the import function. But still we don't find the results. Maybe Outlook requires the date to be in US format. Save the file and execute the macro. Voila, we get the results. And the emails are sorted according to the descending order. That is the earliest email at the top and the boldest at the bottom. Perfect. We can also see the total count 19. Let me just format it and center it so that it's legible. To check whether the filter function is working, we could set another date, for example 20th of June 2021, and click the import function. Perfect. We can see another count. Now let's see whether the checkbox work. Oops, there is 0. The reason for this is that in the selected time period we don't have any emails. So I will change the date to 14th of June 2021 and execute the macro. Voila, we got emails from the folder related to inbox. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Hi, let's explore the possibility of sending WhatsApp message via Excel today. Okay, you will find in YouTube or using a simple Google search a lot of instructions on how to send WhatsApp message using Excel. But what is the correct way to send a WhatsApp message via Excel? Let's explore all the possibilities of sending WhatsApp message via Excel. Okay, I have written here an article explaining the same. Yeah, so according to my researchers, WhatsApp strictly prohibits automated usage of sending bulk messages. Unauthorized use of automated or bulk messaging on WhatsApp is against terms of service from WhatsApp itself. If you want to send bulk messages using WhatsApp, then you need to either have a WhatsApp business app or have a WhatsApp business platform. Alternatively, there are other omni-channel solutions. For example, Contact here allows you to send also personalized WhatsApp messages to the clients. So, a quick summary from the article. According to the terms of service from WhatsApp, it is not allowed to send bulk messages using the WhatsApp API in an unauthorized form. Also using Excel, unfortunately. Like I mentioned previously, if you intend to use bulk messaging in business use cases, then please check out WhatsApp Business app, or WhatsApp business platform. To summarize, the usage of WhatsApp API in unauthorized form might lead to account bans and possibly some certain legal actions. Then we wonder whether is it not possible at all to send WhatsApp message via Excel. A quick internet search reveals there are different approaches to this. One in particular using Selenium based approaches. Selenium is a WebDriver which again uses this WhatsApp API. And the other approach, which I'm going to demonstrate today, is a VBA approach. In this approach, we manually activate the WhatsApp desktop version, feed in the number, and also the text. MS Excel and WhatsApp desktop is already installed. The WhatsApp desktop should also be connected to your... Okay, let me show you the solutions. I've already downloaded the sample file from the website. Okay, let me check whether the function is working just by executing the ping. Whenever the host is not reachable, then I need to be notified. In order to do that, I create a sheet called data and enter all the phone numbers which needs to be notified. This is the first part. The second part is to update the VBA code. So now let's switch to the VBA editor. Here you see the function ping. Check out my video which explains this code. So all I've done here is added a function send WhatsApp message which will be triggered if the host is not reachable. So let me uncomment this line and now let's see what send WhatsApp message is doing. Basically, in this function, I'm getting the last row from the sheet's data to loop through the numbers, given numbers. Now, retrieve the phone number, make sure the WhatsApp desktop is running in the background. Using the app activate function, we bring the WhatsApp to the foreground. This is basically all the manual steps which we will normally be doing. In this case, we are automating it by using VBA, using send key function. So first we are sending control N to create a new chat. Always wait for 1 second before proceeding to the next action. So the next action is to input the number, then select the number, then after selecting the number, press enter. We need to skip the numpad. The version which I'm having had come with a numpad. So we need to skip this numpad. That means send again a tab and then now press enter to activate the chat, enter the text message, and finally press enter to send the message. After doing this, clear the input and press escape key. This way, we do not use the WhatsApp API, but we actually use the WhatsApp API, but we actually use the VBA functions to send automatic messages via WhatsApp. Now, let's see this function in action. For this, I'm going to switch back to Excel and let me just execute the ping. Okay. I've opened the WhatsApp and now press execute ping. All right, that was pretty quick. So let me try to execute again. What it is doing is it's opening the WhatsApp screen, control N for the new message, tap to skip the numpad, enter the string and send the message. Voila, that's it guys. That's how you send bulk messages via Excel using this method. Ensures that we don't use or abuse the WhatsApp API. Instead, we use inbuilt functions from VBA and Excel. That's it guys for today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Hi, Today's video is inspired by one of my subscribers, and he would like to know whether it is possible to do a SSH login test from Excel. So let me pull up the email where he formulated the query. In this email, we can see he's looking for a way and do a SSH login test. So what we're going to do today is just that. We will be using Excel and a tool to perform an SSH login test. By the end of this video, we will have developed somewhat like this. We have here the first 5 columns where we input the data, the IP address, the status, and when it was last accessed, username and password for this particular device. And we also have a button, SSH login test, where the macro is attached. So without further ado, let's get started. In order to do an SSH test using Excel, I'm going to be using plink tool. Plink is synonymous to putty. Okay, so what is the difference between putty and plink? Putty has a graphical user interface from where we can start the SSH session. Its primary use is for an interactive remote management. It's user-friendly and it's accessible via graphical user interface, like I said. On the other hand, plink is a command line tool which is synonymous to putty. Plink is used for scripting and automation. Of course, this requires familiarity with the command line interface, and the configuration is done via command line interface or putty sessions. So my approach to this query is going to be having an Excel file where we have the server information and plink installed in the system, which will then access the server using the SSH protocol and return connection successful in the status column. If there is no connection, then it returns missing connection failed. So let's first see putty and plink in action. For this, I've already downloaded putty from this website, the link for which you will find below, and I can just input the IP address or the host name, which then actually opens a putty session. Yep. So I log into this system and I'm able to interactively use this session. As you can see, putty has a configuration or a UI where I can do all my configuration, whereas plink is a command line tool. From the link below in the description and save it to the folder C, temp and plink here. Okay, open command prompt from this path, and now we can use the plink tool to initiate an SSH connection. So when we say plink, now just a plink, and it's going to be an SSH session to the host 172.27.15 and 99. Sorry, it's 115 and 99. And I'll give the username with flag L. Username is best demo. It's asking for the password, of course. Yeah, access is granted. That means I can initiate the scripting activities from here on. When you use command prompt, then we can also log into the system by pressing just enter. It's almost the same or similar to the putty session which we saw previously. So first press Ctrl C to exit the session and come back to the command prompt. And now we are in the command prompt, we're in the host system now. So if you don't want to actively enter the session, then all we have to do is add a batch flag. How do we do that? We just do plink, do an SSH session, IP address, username, and batch. And of course, we can give a command here, which is needed for later. Okay, probably I might have to enter my password. Here we can see connection successful is written, and this is how we test an SSH session using plink. Now, how are we going to achieve this in Excel? This is going to be the next section of this video. For this, I'm going to pull up a new workbook, Excel workbook, and we can start here. So the first column is going to be the host name or IP address. The second column is going to be the state. Yeah, the second column is going to be the status. The third column is when it was last seen or last reachable at. Fourth column is username. Fifth column is the password. A quick tip, the password cell, if you don't want to be seen, then you can format the cell, right click, format cell, go to number and custom and type here 3 times semicolon and 2 times star. Of course, if you type here, still it will be shown, or at least initially, here it will be shown in the formula section. But when it's displayed overall, it's going to be shown as star. Now let's insert a button. Okay, I see here my developer tools are not active. If that's the case, go to File, Options, and go to Customize Ribbon and select the developer here. Just click OK. Now the developer tool is there. Now we can insert a control here. Let's edit the text, define it as SSH Login test. Let's save this file before proceeding further. Just go save the file, and I will save it in my desktop in the trash folder. Okay, you need to save this file as macro enabled because we're going to be writing macro. Let's start entering the server details. 72, 27, 115, 99. Status will be automatically filled. RASH will also be automatically filled. We need the username. Username was dash demo. So this is going to be my initial start. And now let's start writing the macro function. Right click, macro function. No. Right click, assign macro, and then just go new. Okay, the macro can be anything. I've gone with the default name here. You can redefine this however you like. And let me just do some boilerplate work here. So all I've done here is define some variables which we will be using later, and I've also defined the path where p-link is stored or located. This is important, location, but for this demo I'll be using c temp p-link. All I'm going to do now is to loop through the IP addresses for this. The first thing I'm going to retrieve is my host name, username, and password, like so. And I should definitely make sure all three of them are filled, otherwise I get an error. Else, we ask the user to fill in the missing details, like so. So once we have the host name, username, and password filled, all we have to do is to send a shell command. It's a bit tricky because Excel by itself cannot access the output. For this, we are going to store the output temporarily in a location and then retrieve that output and delete the file after retrieving the output. In order to do that, I'm going to define a temporary location like so. So it's going to get me the temporary path. Just give me a result file where I'll be storing the output. All I'm going to do now, okay, now I'm going to define my command string. So that's going to so we are opening a command with command prompt, going to the p-link path, in the SSH session like we did previously in the terminal, host IP address, username, password, and also the batch flag. We will be storing this output in the temp file now. All we have to do now is to execute this command and evaluate the output like so. What I've done here is create a shell object and run the command with the window minimized and wait for a bit. Now we know if p-link has a communication, connection successful will be returned in the text file. We have to match the string in this text file. I'm going to check for successful in this result string. So please mind me this should be result, not result code. If not, if the result has successful within it, then the connection is successful, else the connection has failed. You just give the status out. When the connection is successful, the status will be connection successful with the font color green, and if it's failed, then it's going to be red font color. Now let's save this file. Let's move outside the VBA code, maximize the screen. Now let's see the script in action. Connection failed. Although I know for sure the connection exists. Coming back quickly here, to the script, I'm going to just change the location of the temporary file to just the plink underscore IP address text. Now let's check again. Okay, it's still showing connection failed. Let me just add in a message box here. So looking back at this code again, I'm compiling a result variable, but this result variable does not have the text. What I'm going to do is just rename this as return code as some variant. Doesn't matter for now. This is just a temporary variable. What we need is the result, and the result is a string or variable, which is the content of the temp file. So all I have to do is result and read the temp file by creating a file object, open the text file and read it all. Now let's go back to our Excel file and check whether it's working. Where could be the problem? Ha! There we see. There's just only one L here. Need to put 2L. Let's check again. Now we get a connection successful, which is stored in the temp file now. Yeah, voila, we did it. So now I can just remove this message box and test again. Perfect. Now let me just quickly change another IP address. There we go. This is an error happening now. We got a return code of 1, which means it was not successful. So we need to put it in the. All right. Now we tested the connection successful message. During the development of the solution, I faced another tricky situation. And the situation was that the server was not known to the host machine. Normally, when you do an SSH connection, or fingerprint is stored in the registry. That you can see in the registry editor, and you can see in the registry editor under current user, software, PuTTY, and SSH host keys. So my machine, this 172 dot, which ends at 99, is already stored in the cache. That's why my connection was able to be successful. So let me quickly remove it and show you using PuTTY. After removing this SSH key, I'm opening the PuTTY terminal again, and let's just check again right about it. Yeah, the host key is not known for this machine, so that's why it's just asking whether to save it or not. The server is not recognized by this host machine. So what we're going to do is we are going to accept it. Once we accept it, we can normally log in, and I just do a refresh here. I can see this host key has been added again. It is essential for the server machine to be already in this SSH cache. How do I handle this now? So how do I handle the situation? I've already developed the solution, and you can find in this blog article, which I've explained under complete code section. The complete code will bypass the host key verification. Point of view of security, this is not advisable and it is not suggested, or it is not recommended also. The SSH key verification process should always be an interactive one, meaning using PuTTY sessions. This code will bypass the security considerations, so please be aware. I hope you learned something today. I see you in the next. Bye bye.